Hello, this is Matt Wilhelm from Yellowstone Fly Fishing School in Livingston, Montana, working in partnership today with Montana Angler in Bozeman, Montana. And today we're going to teach you the basic elements of a fly fishing cast using a cast called a pickup and laydown. So I'm going to do just a couple pickup laydown casts to get started. A pickup laydown is basically a back cast and a forward cast, and then you're fishing. So here's a pickup laydown. Back cast, forward cast, and you're fishing. Pick up and a lay down. Okay, so here's how we do it. First thing, let's talk about grip. There are several different grips you can use. I think the most elemental grips you can use are, basic grips are thumb extended, thumb on top, or index finger extended on top of the grip. The fly fishing line needs to be anchored at all times when you're fishing usually, either in your non-casting hand, which for me is my left hand, or anchored underneath of your casting hand. This helps us to keep slack out of the cast, also helps us to maintain our line as we're fishing, whether we're stripping in or if we're feeding line out. Okay, so the line needs to be anchored. For a pickup and lay down, our back cast portion of this cast, I always like to start with my fly rod tip right low to the water. That gives me a lot of time to throw a really effective back cast. The casting stroke in the back cast is an acceleration to a stop, a slow to fast movement to a crisp stop of the rod. So here's the back cast move. Rod tip low, accelerate, stop. That acceleration to a stop is key. This angle in which I stop at, and I'm looking at the angle as if it were the hands of a clock, looks like about 1 o'clock. Now keep in mind that this angle of the rod will change with the amount of line you have out beyond the rod tip. For 25 to 30 feet of line in our cast, that 1 o'clock angle stop is a really good benchmark for where we want to stop the rod on our back cast. So let me get the line back out there. After we do our pickup move, our back cast and stop, we have to pause long enough for the line to unroll behind the rod tip. Now the length of the pause is also predicated by the amount of line beyond the rod tip. If you have a short line, it's going to be a short pause. If you have a long line, it's going to be a long pause. So the pause, stop, pause, and then come forward. If we have the correct amount of pause, our line will straighten out, our rod will load, and it'll have an effective forward cast. If we pause too long, our line will fall to the water and we won't have an effective forward cast. If we pause too short, like here, we will also not have an effective cast. So the pause is very important. To stop, pause for the line to straighten, and when you deliver the rod forward on the forward cast, again, it's an acceleration to a crisp stop of the rod tip at about eye level, and the cast should roll out in front of you. All together, stop, pause, forward, and the line rolls right out. Stop, pause, forward, line rolls right out. And that's a pickup and lay down cast.